Hello everyone, this is Dharmendra Singh from your YouTube channel English Probe, and in this video we are with the poem Fire and Ice, composed by a very famous poet Robert Frost. In today's video, like previous videos, we are going to discuss about some important points related to this poem, and after that I am going to give you a glimpse of some important questions and how to write their answers. I am going to explain all these things in this video. So let's begin with our first project, that is the main points of the poem. So what are the main points of the poem? You can see it here. The poet feels that the world will come to an end. As you have read in this poem, this is the ideology of poet, that the world is progressing towards its destruction, towards its end. And how does he evaluate all these things about the world? Because he comes to this conclusion on the basis of what people say on this subject of what subject of the destruction of this world. On the basis of what people think, the poet believes that this world will come to an end by two highly contrasting but powerful elements of nature. They are fire and ice. Then the poet links these two powerful natural elements of human beings and their emotions. These fire and ice, the poet had used them as a symbol. And what do they symbolize? They are symbolizing the human emotions and their attitude towards one another. In the first stanza of the poem, the poet shows his agreement with those people who believe that fire will cause the end of this world. He links the element of fire to the human emotion of desire. Which human emotion? That is desire or passion. The uncontrolled fire of passion, that we call uncontrolled passion or desire of the people, may lead us or may lead this world towards destruction, may lead us to the end of this world. Let's talk about more about this poem. So if we talk about the second stanza of the poem, then the poet comes to the second alternative in the second stanza that can cause the destruction and can end this world. And what is that alternative? It is the ice, which can also be enough for the end of the world. And what is ice in terms of human emotions? In terms of human emotions, ice means hate created by cold reasoning. Cool and calculated icy reasoning can lead to hate and can be the cause of the end of this world. So this cold reasoning of the people, hatred among the people, this is also as a symbol of ice, and it is sufficient to bring a destruction to this world. Hatred is also not a good thing. Okay. In the end, Frost agrees. Frost means the poet Robert Frost. He agrees that it does not matter whether it is fire or ice, because both can cause the end of the world. Both have the potential, both have the capacity to destroy this world. Ice or hate born out of cold reasoning is quite sufficient for causing the end of this world. So this is all about this poem. This is a summary of the poem. After that, let's talk about some important points. We have discussed about important points. Now let's discuss about some important questions and the way how to write their answers. Let's begin with the question. So some important questions. The first question could be like this. Write down the two different views about the end of the world. What are the two different views of the people about the end of the world? As we have discussed in the important points, you can write in the same way. According to the poet, there is a debate. And who is making this debate? The people are doing this debate. They are making this debate because the people have two opinions about the end of the world. According to the poet, there is a debate about how the world will perish, how the world will come to an end. Some people say that the world will end in fire, whereas some say in ice. So these are two possible ways of ending the world. Word is transitory. Transitory means not permanent. Nothing is permanent in this universe. So this is how, being impermanent, the world is supposed to end either by fire or by ice. Let's talk about the next question. For frost, what do fire and ice symbolize? As we had discussed in important points, they are symbolizing something. So what are fire and ice symbolizing according to Robert Frost, the poet? So let's write the answer. The word fire stands for desire, desire of the people. That is also called as passion. In the poem, it indicates all types of greed and lust of the people. In today's world, mankind's greed is putting the very existence of the earth in danger. The earth is moving towards the danger just because of the greed, just because of the lust of the people. That is indirectly a kind of desire or passion. Okay, the word ice in the poem indicates hatred and indifference of the people towards one another, which is also as cold as ice, and it is capable of destroying the world as fire. As the fire has the capacity of destroying the world, the same way ice, or as a symbol, hatred among the people or indifference towards one another for the people, they are also capable of destroying the world as it is desire. So this is how you can write this answer of this question. Let's talk about the another question. So this could be like this. Why does the poet hold with those who favor fire? In first stanza of the poem, you must have noticed it that the poet agrees with those people who favor fire, those who believe that the world will come to an end just because of fire. That is desire and passion of the people. So why does people take favor of those people? So let's write the answer. The poet favors those who believe that the world will be destroyed by fire, because frost connects fire with desire. According to the poet, desire is powerful and would be a quick end to the world. Moreover, the fact that he has personal experience, as he has himself accepted in that first stanza, that he had a personal experience, he had tasted it. So he has personal experience with desire that leads him to conclude that world will end in fire. Because of his personal experience about it, he favors those people who believe that fire will be a cause of the destruction of this world. So this is how you are going to write this answer for this question. Let's talk about another question of this lesson of the poem. To say that for destruction ice is also great for the poet, because poet accepts in the second stanza, although he favors those people who believe that world will end in fire, but he accepts it too that ice is also as powerful as fire is there in the destruction of this world. So what does ice stand for? How is it sufficient to bring destruction? So what does ice stand for? We have already discussed in the important points. So we will write the same, but another question is there. How is it sufficient to bring destruction? So let's write this answer. Let's see how ice is also sufficient to bring destruction of this world. Ice symbolizes hatred, as we discussed. Hate is just as powerful as desire. We cannot say that hate is less powerful than desire. Hate is equivalent to desire in its power. While desire consumes quickly, hate can occur and linger in people's mind and hearts for years. Okay, desire जो होता है जल्दी खत्म हो जाती है, बट जो हेट्रेड होती है ना, वो बहुत ज़्यादा समय तक लोगों के मन में, दिल में हमेशा बनी रहती है नफरत, हेट. Okay, so it remains in the minds of the people for years and sometimes even lifetimes. Hate consumers are hated more than the person or group who are hated. मतलब जो हेट कंज्यूमर्स होते हैं, जिनके दिलों में नफरत होती है, वो उन लोगों से ज़्यादा नफरत के पात्र होते हैं जिनसे नफरत की जाती है. एंड दस इट कैन ruin lives. And this is how hate keeps on taking place from heart to heart, from person to person, and this is how it leads us towards destruction of the lives, and destruction of lives means destruction of this word. Hate can therefore be destructive and sufficient to bring destruction. We can conclude it like this way because of these facts. So let's talk about another question of the poem. Which age-old question does the poem revolves around? Means you can say there is a question in people's mind which has been answered through this poem. So what is that age-long question, age-old question around which the poem revolves? So that question is, the poem revolves around the age-old question of whether the word will end in fire or in ice, because we know it, there is a debate among the people. Some people feel it will destroy in fire, whereas some people think that it will destroy in ice, as we have witnessed in the thoughts of the poet as this poem is there. This is similar to another age-old question, whether it would be preferable to freeze to death or burn to death. Freeze to death just because of ice, and burn to death because of fire. The poet determines that either option, means any of these options, fire or ice, would achieve its purpose sufficiently well because both are equally powerful. Okay, so this is the age-old question around which this poem revolves. Next question, write the sum and substance of the poem Fire and Ice. Means what is the sum and substance? इसका जो poem का जो message क्या है? What is the message? Sum and substance means what is the message and what is the theme of the poem Fire and Ice, which has been composed by Robert Frost. So let's see what can you write as sum and substance of the poem Fire and Ice. The message of the poem, the message that the poet is trying to give through this poem is that nothing in this world is everlasting. Everlasting, that is permanent. There is nothing in this world which is supposed to live permanently in this world. Everything will perish either in fire or ice, and we have seen it what fire and ice symbolize according to the poet. Therefore, we should not forget this supreme reality and keep ourselves above all selfish matters. So we better know it that the world has to come to an end just because of fire or ice. So this is the supreme reality and we must not forget it. And therefore, if we want to keep the world safe from being destroyed, so we must keep ourselves above all selfish matters. We should not be selfish. We must have to become selfless people. So this is the message of this poem Fire and Ice, composed by Robert Frost. Let's take another question which could be answered in around 100 to 120 words. That question is this, like, how will the world end? Support your answer with scientific explanations. Here, whatever comes to our mind, we are symbolizing it to human behavior. Ice and fire have been connected with human behavior, human's attitude, but now we have to support our answer according to scientific explanations, how scientists believe, because scientists do not attach fire and ice with human emotions. They take it directly, because for science fire and ice cannot be emotions. They are very powerful elements of nature. So let's see what do scientists believe for the destruction of the world and fire and ice as well. So according to the scientists, the two reasons for the destruction of the world will be either fiery core of the earth or the ice age. Either this fiery core means inside the earth, deep inside the earth, the core is there, which is full of molten lava, that is fire, or either it will come to the earth in form of volcanoes, or the earth will come under the grip of ice and whole earth will be under ice, and an ice age will destroy the world. Some scientists believed that the world would be burnt up from its fiery core, while others were convinced that the coming ice age would destroy all living things on the earth's surface. All living things means not only human lives, all living things, either it is vegetation or some other living creatures on this earth. So this is the belief of some of the scientists. In other words, we can say either the deep heat or fire under the earth beds will lead to natural calamities like volcano eruptions, earthquakes and tsunamis, which will one day end the world, or the melting ice. It is, if we talk another option, so it could be the melting of ice from the snowy mountains due to global warming. This is another reason of the earth destruction of the world, global warming. So because of global warming, the another option can take place there. The ice would start melting, and melting of ice from the snowy mountains will shrink the world. As a result, one day the entire world will die of the icy water. Robert Frost, the poet of this poem, thus tries to warn people against the two greatest problems facing humanity and the consequences of human vices. Vices means bad actions with an increased effectiveness. So this is the belief, a scientific belief for the destruction of the earth. And other belief, according to the poet, as a symbol, fire and ice, their desire and hatred. So this is how this whole poem is covered under these questions and the answers, and I hope you all have got everything properly. So best of luck for your coming examinations. Keep preparing, keep watching the videos, and keep motivating everyone else to watch such nice videos which I am preparing for your benefit, for your examination. Thank you very much. Have a nice time, and if you have not subscribed the channel, please go ahead, subscribe it, like the videos, and yes, don't forget to share it among your friends, among your classmates, just for their benefit. Thank you very much once again, and have a nice time.